Okay. We're live, people. What's going on? Hey! That was not intentional, but hells yeah, I rock with it. That was a nice drop right there to start it off. What's going on, people? Let's get people going. Let's get this going. As always, we just wait for people to show up, of course. What's good? What's good? As the title tells, we're going to be talking about those three series because I'm still not caught up to My Hero, but I'm caught up with the latest two Boruto chapters, and I'm caught up with Black Clover and One Piece. So we'll do them. We're going to do them in that order. We're going to talk about them. We're going to talk about, uh, the greatness that we've seen in a couple of them. And since I didn't do One Piece last week, I felt it's only right to start off One Piece, or I didn't upload the backlog of One Piece. We'll talk about One Piece first, and so on and so forth. Let me just share the link to Twitter. Give me 1 second there. But how's everyone going? How's everyone Friday night? What's going on? Here we go. What's going on, chat? What's popping, everybody? Alrighty. What's goody? What's goody? All right. So let's start off. I want to read the chat. I want to see what's going on, everybody. What's your night looking like? ForneverWorld just been relaxing, about to play some Jump Force. Oh, word. Probably later on tonight because I got another live stream. I'm going to be on the Yellow Flash, I believe he calls himself. He's one of the content creators that has been talking about the Vic Mignogna situation. So at 10 o'clock, I will be on his live stream. We'll be talking there. Then probably after that, I'll probably play some Jump Force. So I'll probably play a little bit while I'm on the live stream or something, just having a chill, good time. You know what I'm saying? Always, I always try my best. You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't rock with y'all, then how y'all supposed to rock with me? You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to waste you guys' time. I want to jump straight into it. Let's start off with One Piece. Now, when we last left off, the last chapter anyway, I'm just gonna briefly talk about that. It was essentially the woman came out the woo wort and had that child with her, and Zoro got injured, and then in the end, he came back with some three sword style epicness, which by the way, I also want to let you guys know real quick before we go any further that when the chat, as far as the chat goes, I'll read the donations probably at the end of each segment. That way, I don't interrupt anything. I think that'd be fair and better, so that way we don't mess things up. So any donations that you guys throw at the end of each segment. So once I'm done with the One Piece segment, I'll check out the donations. Once I'm done with the Boruto segment, so on and so forth. Because again, I don't want to miss out on anybody. I don't want anybody's hard-earned money to be wasted. If you want me to see something, you got something to say. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So if you do want to donate, feel free. I'll check them out at the end, and that way also you'll get your special time to shine if that's what you want or whatever. So just wanted to throw that out there. Now let's get back into it. So yeah, Zoro epicness. I mean, this is probably one of the most hype well, that was anyway one of the most hype moments we've had of Zoro, where this is the first time that Zoro's been heavily injured, if I'm not mistaken, in New World. I mean, he's taken a couple of blows here or there, but I don't remember a time where Zoro was like, he really took an ass with him. Like, if anything, Zoro has more so just been kind of grinding around. Like, let's go back to the Pika fight. Let's be honest here with ourselves. The Pika fight, that was bad. It was just Zoro chopping at rocks, and it was just like, don't get me wrong, Zoro still looked cool because Zoro, you give him a bunch of boulders to chop down, and he looks cool, right? But it was just kind of like, But then we get this moment right here, and I'm like, yo, he got injured, and I'm gonna throw. As a matter of fact, I'll save my real interesting theory, which probably people are already calling it. I try my best to stay away from theories so people don't say, yo, you jack my shit. And they'll be like, oh, so I try my best to stay away from theories, but I do have a small theory regarding a character in this chapter, the latest chapters, latest two chapters. But yeah, it's definitely digging more into Zoro, continuously referencing the fact of his Wano heritage, that he looks like a Wano samurai, because, at the end of the day, there's some ties there. We don't know everything there is to know about Zoro. This is going to be a very big piece. I think it's appropriate, and the reason Oda is making this so Zoro-centric, which of course is because Wano, his connections, whatever, but Zoro being the most popular character, Oda probably feels as though, or Zoro being one of the most popular. He's not the most popular, I don't think, based on the voting polls. I'm not sure about that. Don't quote me, but he's one of the most popular in the franchise. One of the people that everybody looks at as the cool guy. So why not give him his arc and make it the longest or one of the longest arcs? Because according to what everyone's saying, Wano should be like, if not the longest, one of the longest arcs. Why not give it to the most popular character and at the same time make it a very deadly situation to make it so that that popular character still has struggles to overcome? Because the day I see Zoro getting like smacked around and it's just like really pathetic at this point, I'll be like, whoa, I want to see Zoro at this point overcome and persevere. But at a certain point, I still feel as though they're not ready to fight the big dogs. So of course, Zoro is going to take a whipping here or there. You know what I mean? But I just gotta wait and see. And again, I just started. I got a little sidetrack there. So again, the last chapter, it was with the woman on the bridge. Zoro took a wound or whatever. I'm gonna be honest with you. This chapter right here, the big nugget, the big gold piece of it all is, of course, the ending with holy cow. That's Momo's sister, Momo's younger sister at that. So it's going to be interesting when she sees Momonosuke. She's like, whoa, what's going on? But okay, you know what? I don't want to save it till the end. I'm going to throw it out right here. My crazy theory, or it's not even crazy. I think it's very plausible because at first I thought that woman was something. Yeah, I'll say I thought she was something. And then I thought she was another thing. But now I know what I think she is, or I know it sounds real confusing. But at first I was like, okay, this is a plan that her and the bridge swordsman had in order to rob people, get them whatever they got. Throw that in there. I'm like, okay, no. Oh, so we find out that's Momonosuke's sister. So for a second, I'm like, okay, so she's good. Then I go back to my original theory. I'm like, no, wait a minute. Who cares if she's Momonosuke's sister? Momonosuke is who he is because he's been away from all this. She might be corrupt. So my crazy theory is 100% that Momonosuke's sister is working with the Bridge Bandit and possibly even to something even bigger. But Momonosuke's sister, that's going to give him a conflict, so to speak. It's kind of like Sai and his brother from Naruto. I think it was similar to that, but in essence of this is going to be Momonosuke's challenge, understanding and accepting the fact that his sister is bad, that his sister's not a good person. And I think that again, that goes along with why she would be helping this swordsman or this bandit from the bridge. That's kind of my whole take on that. Now let's start off from the beginning of the chapter. Kamazo or Zoro defeated Kamazo and he's injured. I mean, that was just like a plot device character just to introduce this whole segment right here and kind of blindside people to what was really going on. That's how I feel. I feel as though that guy that injured Zoro was just to blindside us and segue us from the fact of that this woman actually tried to pull the wool over Zoro's eyes. You see in the chapter, because hold on, let me just go to my notes that way so I don't get sidetracked here. And by the way, there will always be the pre-recorded. So in case you miss a Fornever Friday, I'll have the One Piece segment cut out and edited up, Black Clover segment, Boruto segment, and any other segments like the My Hero one. So all of this stuff will be cut out in a nice condensed on demand, I guess you could say, for you guys if you miss it in the future. But Zoro's warrior pride, and that's something that it's a classic storytelling of when a man's warrior pride kind of blindsides him from what's really going on. Zoro's warrior pride is like, nah, that had nothing to do with you, which is again pulling us even further away from the truth of what Momonosuke's sister is. She's probably even working with the shogunate or Orochi and all of that, to be honest with you, because I see that being the bigger thing, because the whole chapter as well was pushing forth about Orochi's fear of the Kozuki clan, Orochi's fear of the Kozuki. I see somebody donated. In case you missed it, I will read all donation portions at the end of each segment. So I don't want nobody to feel as though I'm blanking or anything like that. Just wanted to let you know. But I'll check this one because it's somebody that pretty regular. Thank you, Super Saiyan Eric. Hope you've been having a blessed day, my friend. Now, with that being said, okay, Zoro's warrior pride. Yeah, it's pulling him further from, and it's pulling the readers further from the fact that this woman's dirty. When he's like, that had nothing to do with you. It was all me. No, it was. It was very, you're Zoro, okay? Some weak bandits on a bridge and a weak sword. Well, not weak, but some random swordsmen aren't going to take you down without some master plan of a woman that, again, you have such, because you see, this goes into the internal conflict, and this is where we're starting to dive deeper. Zoro's internal conflict. Remember his big, what is it? Kuina. Oh shoot, what the little girl's name? The one that died, that was his counterpart that he fought. I believe it was Kuina. But anyway, because there's also Tashigi that everybody says it's her. Well, more than likely that's her. That's whatever. But we're getting the internal conflicts of Zoro. Going back to my original point, getting internal conflicts of Zoro and him dealing with women and things of that nature. Because again, that's something that is integral to his character from when we found out of like, oh, when the little girl passed away, it really messed with him. So again, it's pulling us further away from the fact that more than likely that's going to be the case. Again, that's my crazy theory. I could be totally off about Momonosuke's sister and she's just genuine. But if I initially thought that it was a plan and then Oda is dragging us further away from that idea, that's because that's probably the actual thing. And again, it goes with Zoro's character. Orochi's scared of the Kozuki clan. Again, we just briefly touched upon that. But Orochi being scared is clear as day because, however, which it starts to show that there's a mole in this whole thing. And I'm curious if there's a traitor amongst our group. I don't know who it would be. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea who I would pinpoint as the traitor. But if there's somebody that's actually really giving all this information, or maybe we actually did see that now that I think about it. I want to say it was here chapter 2 before. Forgive me if I'm mistaken. But so then let me go to the notes. One of the things that kind of was the chuckle of the chapter for me. I ain't gonna lie. It was funny stuff, but it also showcases Law's dedication and his trust with his people. When Shinobu, I believe it was saying that, no, they ratted on us, Beppo and them. I was like, if you don't get out of here, like, trying to portray Beppo and them as like they Treyway or something, like Beppo is 6'9", they Treyway or some shit. Like, what would that make Law? DJ Academics? I don't know. Yeah, I know that's silly. I just me off the cuff just joking around. But yeah, Beppo and them didn't tell, I don't think. And if they did, I'd be shocked. But they're not a part of this whole big thing to really like, flip the script like that. They're just a small piece of the story. It'd be crazy, but Law knows his people and they don't bend, they don't fold. It's Trey with it's the Heart Pirates, baby. So let's see what else we got. I mean, for the most part, this chapter was basically all Zoro based, and it's getting even further into what this whole arc is going to be about. This is the Wano, the samurai stuff, and it's slowly piecing together and peeling back the layers of Zoro's character and really showing us who he is. And he's definitely, I don't want to say he's matured because Zoro's kind of always been this way, again, because it goes back to his whole past with Kuina. Again, I believe the name is whatever. It goes back into what he went through with her and how it affected him. And now going through this arc, how he's going to change. And, it's going to be interesting to see moving forward when Tashigi, because I'm imagining Tashigi is going to have something to do with this. Smokers, what is she to Smoker at this point? One of the people in Smokers group, is she going to show up here? When's the last time we even heard of what those particular people are doing? Because if they show up, even if it's towards the end of the arc and make a big, shocking revelation, that will be great. And that also would add even further, because I think if One Piece is going to end at some given point, Oda's steadily heading towards it. If he's going to tie up all loose ends, this arc is to do it. So if Tashigi does have something to do with Kuina, if she is her or whatever, regardless of what her connection to Zoro is, then she'll be involved in this, unless her whole face and her looking similar to this little girl from his past was just a plot device in a sense to keep pushing Zoro forward. And she really doesn't have anything to do with who that little girl was. And that's all going into that whole, the connection, the very legitimate theory that Tashigi and Queen are the same person, which I wouldn't be surprised. Again, that's a great plot twist from Oda. Maybe us seasoned vets of One Piece that we know and we read a whole bunch of manga might be like, I don't, what I'm saying? We already know this, but little kids ain't gonna, little kids ain't gonna catch on to that. And it's a great twist nonetheless. And if it's done very well, regardless, even if I seen it coming, I can appreciate it. With all that being said, again, the big twist was, hey, this is Momonosuke's sister. It's not no coincidence that she ran into Zoro. I wouldn't be surprised if she knows more than she's letting on, and she knows exactly who Zoro is and what he's up to, or it's, again, very simple that she's a petty criminal with that, mountain or that sword bridge. Yeah. Swordsman from the bridge. It's just a matter of how rotten she is. Is she doing something with the government, or is it just with that swordsman and they're just robbing people? But regardless, that's where I see it going. All that, again, chapter, pretty dope chapter. Not the greatest in the world. It was a good chapter nonetheless. I want to say I'd give it a solid about seven and a half. I think the plot twist at the end would lead it towards, if I was to give it to an 8, it would be that. But it was a lot of context mainly, and just kind of pieces building. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say about 7 to a 7.5 at best for the chapter. But One Piece still steadily getting even more interesting. And Zoro fans, this is the arc. If you're a Zoro fan, enjoy every single chapter you're getting out of Wano, because remember, One Piece will end some point, and if Oda is wrapping everything up as he's going along, and this is the wrap up for Zoro, enjoy these chapters, because after this we probably won't, we'll still get epic Zoro moments, but it ain't gonna be this Zoro centric. And this is a time to rejoice if you stuck around this long. Not stuck around, because One Piece has been amazing, but if you've been along for the ride this long and you love Zoro, enjoy these chapters. Like this one in particular, it was a chill chapter, cool chapter, but nonetheless integral to Zoro's character, his development, and where he's going moving forward in the story. I guess I got a couple of questions to ask. For starters, what I just got so many right now in my mind. I guess let's go with the whole Tashigi and Kuina situation. Do you guys think that they're the same people, or was that just more so to push Zoro's character, the fact that she looks like the little girl from his past? I'll check the chat right now, and again in the video on demand, I can edit all this part out, but I'm curious to see what you guys think. Let's start off. Let's see. Anybody here for what you call it? Not anybody here for anybody. What is the, or shall I say, do you guys think that Kuina and Tashigi are the same person, or is Tashigi just a metaphor for his growth? I say Tashigi is her. You think Tashigi is her? I'm like I said, that's my belief. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like the metaphor is cool at all, but based on how Oda has done some things, like the Sabo thing, it felt so obvious, and it turned out to be. It felt so obvious that he was still alive. I remember 1 year to the date that that Sabo was revealed to be alive. I had made a theory video saying, "Yo, he's alive," and he's so on and so forth. So sometimes the obvious things could be, but it could also show Oda's growth as a writer and change as a writer. That hold on. Wait, hold on 1 sec. Sorry. Just had to exit out. It could show again the growth, and he say, hold on, everything isn't always what it seems. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like I guess taking a page out of Teen Titans, the good Teen Titan, not Teen Titans Go, the one that we watched when we was younger. Anybody that is my age group that watched the Teen Titans on TV, shit, and even young kids watch that shit is still on there. What am I talking about? But the whole Beast Boy episode about Terra coming back, the very last episode, it could be the case as well. It could be that it's just a metaphor, but people change, things change, and what they see may not always be the case. I got no idea, but I don't think it's. But you don't think it's her because she'd recognize Zoro. But what about if she's had just look at what happened to Sabo. Sabo lost his memory. Sabo, what you call it? Like if you think about it, it would be the exact almost same case as like the Sabo thing. But if Oda did the reverse, I think that would be better and show his creativity and thinking outside the box as a writer instead of doing the same exact thing over again where, or it could hint at that, or maybe that's how he's playing us to make it seem like, yo, it's the same thing as the Sabo situation. Psych, it's about growth and a metaphor. So gonna be interesting to see. And you guys' overall thoughts on the One Piece chapter, what was it, 938, Zoro, baby, Wano, greatness. But that's all I have for the One Piece segment. Yeah, I guess let's jump in the chat for a minute. Let's see what's up. Thank you, Trey Golds. Thank you, B Wizzle TV. It's missing a major page. Ooh, I did not know that. Well, I guess I'll talk about it in the next one. I try my best to support the official release. I do have the Shonen Jump as well, so I like to support the official release as best as I can. Kuina's death was just too fishy. It was something there. There was something political about it, I would say. It wasn't just a mistake. Yeah, Boruto readers, we're gonna talk about that here in a second. I'm just finishing up the One Piece stuff. Any other things, as a matter of fact, I want to ask you guys, any other things regarding the One Piece chapter that you guys have to say, you want to say about it, any theories about it, or just in general, you want to say about One Piece before we go on to the Boruto part of this segment? Anything at all? Zoro versus Sanji. I think Tashigi is her, but she's intentionally hiding it from Zoro because she sees that his guilt is partially what's driving him to get stronger, and she wants to see him reach his peak. That would be a nice twist. I mean, it's not a twist, but that I guess it's a twist because most people aren't even thinking about Kuina like that, except really hardcore One Piece fans like us that are reading it every week. Like a lot of people, they just read One Piece, especially in Japan. I'd imagine they just grab the volumes here and there once they get older, and they're not grabbing Shonen Jump every week. Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, so all the One Piece viewers or whatever, that was the One Piece part of the stream. Yeah, man, Wano continuing to heat up. It wasn't the most hype chapter in the world, but it was a dope chapter. But on to Boruto, baby. Okay, let me pull up my notes right here. And we're gonna briefly touch up on the last chapter as well, which that one kind of ticked me off for a personal reason unrelated to the content itself. I recorded like the most bomb enthusiastic review, and I mean bomb by like I was hype as hell for the last Boruto. What was it, Boruto 32? And there was no audio. I was upset, people. I was very, very upset. It was like about 17, 18 minutes raw. So probably would have been like 14 minutes, 13 minutes. Like, and I was going in. But thankfully, I have this opportunity now to talk about and Dan, the Kage, you probably might have not been here. I got to figure out another way to do this, but I was trying to put the donations towards the end. But maybe I guess I'll go back to what we did last stream. $5 minimum, and then I'll interrupt what we got going on to read your stuff because it's just testing right now, kind of trying to figure out what you guys like the best. Dan the Kage, thank you very much, by the way. Really appreciate it. Yo, Fornever, long time viewer here. Did you watch the last season of Tokyo Ghoul? It ended the series. Also, Attack on Titans coming up in April. I am a bum that has not finished Tokyo Ghoul. I am a bum that has not, and I'm sorry, I gotta call myself out on it. Sometimes you gotta check yourself. Magi and Tokyo Ghoul, I absolutely need to finish. Absolutely. And you guys will get full, really nicely done, nicely edited videos of those two series of the Magi manga and Tokyo Ghoul re manga and possibly Tokyo Ghoul reanime. Those are 3 videos on the docket. And then I might cover Sinbad, the Sinbad anime as well. Maybe one big video there. And also Attack on Titan's coming up in April. I'm planning on getting back on talking about that. I got a lot of plans, but Attack on Titan, the manga in particular, is on my radar right now. I'm about like 5 or 6 chapters behind. I got to get it together and get on that Attack on Titan manga. But let's get on with Boruto. So Naruto versus Delta in the last chapter. We've seen a lot of different things play out. I want to say one of the biggest things is uh the last chapter in general showed it was the seed planted, so to speak, to kind of make Konoha, Naruto, and everybody, all parties involved, trust Kawaki, because you got to look at it like this. After the events of the last chapter, once everyone finds out, Kawaki goes from this weird invader, this weirdo that should we trust him, get him away, get him out the village, Naruto, what are you doing, to the kid that saved the Hokage and the Hokage's son. Because remember, Naruto's Hokage now, he's beloved. You rescued our hero. We love you. Now this is planting the seeds for Kawaki's betrayal when it gets to the point that he's manipulated or whatever will happen to him to reach him to that point to go head to head and destroy Konoha and go against Boruto. It could be that or shall I say, yeah, it could be because of the mechanics inside of him. We don't know if it's 100%. I want to say that Kawaki looks straight up like he was in his not right state of mind, but he was him and he was doing it off his own accord. It wasn't that Jigen forced him. So again, we don't know the reasoning, but again, last chapter was very important because they're looking at it as you lost an arm. You lost an arm for our leader. the person that we really rock with, seven Hokage. So that's definitely one of the seeds. I think it planted a lot of different things. It planted trust in Boruto. Now looking at him, Boruto is going to be less spiteful. Like, yo, you saved me and my dad. It's going to humble. Hopefully this humbles Boruto even more. Trust the process. I think that was another big thing because it was low key, which I'm sure Boruto is going to have that regret. And that's what's also going to make him gravitate toward being nicer to Kawaki and understanding toward him. It was his fault. He's going to look at it as it was my rookie mistake. This is why I'm a Genin, and it's going to probably haunt him. So that's another big thing that's going to mess with him. The fact that he cost Kawaki his arm. And also, unfortunately, that's what's going to make Boruto drop down his barriers and his guards of like, I made him lose his arm and he's still with us and he's not hating me. That's where that's going to lead. But overall, the last chapter, pretty dope. It proved a lot of people, including myself, wrong of like, Naruto shouldn't be taking this butt whipping. Okay, Naruto took a bad, well, not a bad, but it felt like Naruto wasn't on point, shall I say. I don't want to exaggerate. It felt like Naruto wasn't on point in his fight against Delta. It felt as though he was kind of like sluggish in a bit in the last chapter, not 33, 32. In the last chapter, it felt as though Naruto really, man, you rusty, bro. What happened? Everybody was talking crap. This chapter kind of changed the narrative. I think even last chapter kind of changed the narrative because Kawaki was like, yo, but have faith in him. Just have faith. Boruto lost faith and bam, got bodied. And I think that was one of the important things of like trusting your instincts and trusting the leaders that love you and care for you and trusting the people. Again, if Boruto trusted Kawaki, things wouldn't have happened. Another thing that's breaking down the barriers between Boruto and Kawaki's relationship and the possibility of them and the possibility of them. Shit, yo, see that's my memory. And pretty much in general, that whole thing just it was a good situation, but because we have the precursor of what happens, it's ultimately a bad situation because it's planting seeds for bad things to happen to everybody in Konoha. Now let me just quickly look, see where I'm at. So for the most part, again, wrapping that part up. Now this chapter. This new chapter, different story, different chapter is like, whoa. Because I'm not going to lie. This, chapter 33, this was the Naruto that I wanted to see for a while. Him absolutely going straight up savage mode, kicking and punching and going wild in the fight against Delta. This is the Naruto. This is right here what's planning. Because I'm going to be honest with you, and this is a side note from the manga, but I do want to speak upon this because it's gotten to a point where I think I'm starting to understand what is going on here. I think I'm starting to understand the process of what they're thinking and why they're continuing on with this Boruto adventure despite the lackluster response, sales, popularity. There's no denying that My Hero Academia, for the most part, completely stole Boruto's show. Like, and I don't mean in terms of stealing or copying. I mean in terms of like it stole its thunder. That's what I should say. That was a better terminology. It stole its thunder. My Hero became the big thing, and Boruto's kind of left out in the dust. Maybe that wasn't a part of the plan, but now I could kind of see Now I can kind of see the bigger picture, and the bigger picture is possibly we're in a different era. Just remember that, people. We're in a different era. We're in the time span era. We're in the era where people cannot sit and sit through, or kids mainly. They can't sit through things that long. So it's here today, gone tomorrow. If you're out of sight, you're out of mind. Imagine Naruto ended November of 2014. Imagine 5 years from, or 5 years from then, November of this year, that would have been 5 years, right, of no Naruto. For us, the adults, or the people that kind of understand things, now we would have been 5 years without Naruto. We would have been so hyped if they would have come out with like a Naruto Z, with Naruto being the main character or something like that. Or in general, anything that would have come out of Naruto, we would have been hyped because that would have been 5 years of missing the series. But we got Boruto instead, right? And the reason for Boruto, I think, is they want to keep the train and the name going in the meantime. So we're kind of a little bit sour to like, I don't know. But I personally think that after Boruto, they're going to double back and we're going to get a new Naruto series that goes back to the main cast. And the reason this discussion comes up is because this chapter once again reminded me I want Naruto. That's the series I invested in, and I understand that's why they named it Boruto, to make people understand that this isn't Naruto, this isn't about Naruto, it's about Boruto. But that's where I see it going. Once Boruto ain't gonna be around that long. All the rumors and everything, more than likely it ain't gonna be around that long. Boruto probably end once a lot of the or shall I say, once we understand the situation and the gravity of it and everything of like Kara, things is gonna speed up and whatnot. Boruto, I give it probably about 3 more years, three or 4 more years, it'll be out the door, and then we'll get Naruto Z maybe 6 months after that. Not actually Naruto Z, but we're gonna go back, whether it's Naruto at this point being Jiraiya, and this is all theory, this is all speculation, but I'm starting to understand Boruto is literally a human, or not a human. It's literally media. It's kind of like one big long commercial of like, yo, Naruto's gonna come back one day. This is why you love Naruto. That's why they constantly want to keep bringing the old cast into it. That's why they're gonna keep bringing Naruto back into scenes. They're gonna keep bringing Sasuke back because they know they made a mistake. They know that Boruto right now is lackluster and people ain't rocking with it, despite the manga right now got something to say about that. The manga's on fire right now. Boruto manga, fuego, fire. But it's not picking up the traffic or the traction because, one, the anime right now is still nowhere near. The anime is in filler hell. I call it filler hell because if you're not following the manga at this point, when we have this really good stuff, you're in filler hell. I hate to break it to you. And I heard some good things about the anime. I ain't gonna lie. I did hear some good things. But in terms of what I'm hearing compared to what I'm seeing in the manga, my judgment right now, until I catch up, is the manga's on fire. The anime, we'll see when I catch up. But again, I heard some good things. I don't want to slander it if I'm not really caught up on it. I'm behind on the Boruto anime. So, but that's my thoughts on that. That's my thoughts on basically what's going on, why we're still continuing Boruto, and they're testing the grounds. They're showing that no, people still would die for a Naruto series. People would love Naruto every week. They just don't want to see the kids. They want Naruto. That's what they're testing out. So that chapter made me feel that way. Let's see where we're at right now. He's waiting for Naruto. This is okay, let's talk about Delta's loyalty, because let's pay close attention to her verbiage when she talks. A lot of the time, she's constantly talking about for the sake of Jigen. She's not really necessarily talking about for the sake of Kara. So we see that her interest lies, probably it's romantic or whatever it may be. To her, it's all Jigen. It's not Kara. She'll throw a mission or whatever, so long as if, how can I say this? She will basically let any Kara member die, probably anything, but she won't do it to Jigen. So that's where her loyalties lie. She's only loyal to Jigen. You could tell that. Constantly she's saying that. She's like, she talks crap about fake Jiraiya. I can't freaking remember his name right now, but she constantly talks bad about him. So that's where you're looking at, okay, if she's only loyal to that, that's where the mistake is going to happen. That's where she's going to be very precarious about her situation, and she's not going to really think about it. I said that all wrong. You see, I messed things up. Kashin Koji. Thank you, somebody in the chat. Kashin Koji. But she's going to mess up, not really caring, and then Jigen's going to toss her aside. I almost guarantee Jigen is probably going to obliterate her into nothing but robot parts. And it's starting to look more and more, and I want to throw this to you guys. And what do you guys think about this is one of the big questions, because from the jump, I've been calling this the Android saga of Naruto. And I think that this fight with Delta only further and further proves my points. This chapter was very, very inspired by Dragon Ball Z, whether you want to admit it or not. You cannot tell me the one panel where Naruto is holding the blast or the chakra blast up against Delta with one arm that was not Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, how he looked against Cell. So a lot of inspiration is coming in. The creator or the author behind Boruto, whoever's penning it right now, because it's not Kishimoto, he's only supervising it. He's getting inspiration from Dragon Ball, this whole thing. Delta is Android 19. That's clear as day. She's Android 19, and Naruto pulled a Vegeta and overloaded her with chakra instead of ki, and blew her eye socket out. He blew her eye socket out. So you can see again, this is all the Dragon Ball Z inspiration incoming right now, which is cool. I see it. But there's a lot of people there's a lot of kids. Remember, at the end of the day, you always got to look what is the target. A lot of kids didn't see that. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though Dragon Ball Super's major success is the fact that it managed to curate, and I know we're talking about something else, but it managed to curate a fan base that's new, but still have the older fan base like us in their late 20s. Some are even in their 30s and 40s. The older audience are both meshing to support this. And that's, of course, one of the fundamental things that Boruto and Naruto is lacking right now. I think Boruto came too quick. Pause. Boruto came out way too quick as a series. Okay, hold on 1 second. Thank you, Jamcalex, for the donation. Basically, the upper members of Kara are Jonin to Kage level, modded with bleeding edge anti-Naruto tech. The author wrote for the folks who made Science Ninja Team Gotcha Man. So the tech makes, wow, I did not know that the author did that. That is a very, very cool fact. That makes sense though. But again, the whole thing is, which I was kind of getting off of my point. I was trailing off. The whole thing is Kawaki is Cell. So Jigen is probably what? Is he Jiro? And then Delta is kind of more like a mix between 18 and 19. That's what it's looking like. But Kawaki, the reason he's special and he's the vessel is because he's probably the only one that is 100% human and then modified. They probably couldn't figure it out with anyone else and do it, which is kind of somewhat of the explanation, but that's what it is. This is Cell. Those are the androids. That's the inspiration behind it. Really cool stuff. I'm not saying that it's copying. If anybody takes that wrong, no. I'm saying I see the inspiration behind it because it's not copying. Delta is a female. Android 19 is a big blob robot. Big, big difference. So it's inspired. Really cool stuff there. And for those that didn't see it, I'm glad I could kind of show that side of what it could be to you guys. So let's take a look what else I got here. We already know the vessel. They do talk a lot about the vessel, though. I ain't gonna lie, which shows more and more Kawaki's Cell importance to all this. They constantly, the vessel. Yeah, a little bit too much vessel talk there. We already know physical combat. Oh man, I will say this, and I can almost guarantee what they're probably going to do with the Boruto anime until they finish this run is whenever there's adapted material, because they've already shown this before, like when they did the Naruto Gaiden, the whole Sarada, who's the mom thing, they made really nice, or they made sure to put a nice budget behind and get their top animators to do those episodes. Those episodes are great. They made Sakura look amazing. And I think that that's what they're going to do, because imagine Naruto versus Delta with high quality, not exactly to the T of Naruto versus Sasuke. They're not going to do that. Let's not get carried away. But that fight needs proper art and animation because my gosh, don't get me wrong. The techniques is getting out of line. What was the latest Rasengan? Super Giant Omega Shenron. Like the naming is getting a little ridiculous with I mean, I guess that's what happens when a series goes on for so long, right? Like you go from Super Saiyan to Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue, you know what I'm saying? So I guess now Super Giant Ultra Rasengan Ball, if I said it right, whatever. But really cool art, again, looking amazing. Naruto versus Delta, but when that gets animated, that needs to have top level animation because my gosh, that was a good fight. Hand to hand combat. That is what Naruto started to lack towards the end of its run and why people hated it. This I love, regardless of what it is. It also shows the time we're in right now, and I'm thankful for that. It shows a time where people don't have to necessarily like, yeah, okay, we have some bad problems going on. Don't get me wrong in the world. And I don't want to get political in this or whatever, but we have bad problems in the world. But thankfully, we're at a time where we can show in mediums a really cool, badass female having a fight with a man and not it just be like completely, you know, just the way they used to censor things back in the day. We can have a full-on blown fight with a badass female, badass dude, and not have it censored. And we have it in our comics. So I find manga, you know what I mean. But I find that really, really dope. And again, I can't wait to see that part animated. That is going to be freaking insane. Okay. And then one of the things which we don't talk about this that much, Naruto's growth. It was shown again. In this one, his character development, his character development, his growth, his character development, all completely demonstrated in this chapter because it shows now that he's practicing what he preaches. You know how Naruto's already preached in the past about how and he got that idea, I want to say it was from the third, of the whole village is his family. Konoha is his family. That's kind of what he showcased in this chapter, because now that Kawaki is a part of Konoha, and of course the children are a part of it as well, he was basically almost mercilessly ready to do anything to Delta. He was like, if you lay one finger on any of these children, I will make you wish you were dead. And despite the nastiness of it, it's more so a threat to leave mine alone. I don't want to hurt you. We don't need to fight. Leave mine alone. And that's right there growing up. That's a father. That is a leader. And that is a great developed character. For the people that don't like character development, I'm sorry, but that's great development. Him showcasing the anger and rage that he has right now. It's not about food. It's not over a lover. It's not over a video game or some crazy. It's not over a cup of ramen. It's over people that he loves and cares about. And that is a great representation and a great role model for people to showcase. Like, when you come from being, nothing and something, you still have to apply yourself and show love and spread positivity and continue. So I really found that very awesome to see that, yeah, he's vicious, he's angry, but it's over his children. It's over Kawaki, somebody a part of his village and his family, leading by example. That's character development right there, people. And I respect the living crap out of what Naruto did. I mean, he kicked that ass, you know what I'm saying? In the end, Delta's there laid out, and they caught a W. So really cool stuff there in the battle. Honestly, this was a great battle chapter. Absolutely great battle chapter. If you read battle manga for battles, this chapter, it showed Naruto ain't playing. It shows, though, that if Delta is not the cream of the crop and Naruto was still getting she was getting some jabs in, he's got to grow, I guess. Or no, not grow. Hold on. I just lost my train of thought. See, that's what happens with the donations. I look down, I see a donation. I'm like, oh shit, let me say it. But then let me just read the donation we get back. I apologize, guys. I have bad memory in case you're new to this. Thank you, N7 Engineer, for the donation. Fornever, you are my Sean Schimmel. I know you will be a hero that I can meet in person. I feel so blessed to hear something like that. Thank you for being a supporter. Thank you for being an awesome person and showing love, because a lot of times people be so scared to show love because, oh, you're dick riding. No, that's love. And people misunderstand that. People misinterpret things. And it's okay, because we're humans. Misunderstandings are going to happen. But if you got love for your dog, show him a sign. That's how I see it. And I thank you and I appreciate it. I respect that, bro. Salute to you. Thank you. I'm going to try my best not to disappoint. Let's continue. Okay, so we got a few more notes here. We already talked about Naruto pulling a Vegeta. And pretty much, again, Delta laid out on the ground. Done. So fight over. Great fight. Great battle. And one last thing that the chapter shows you is that now a bond has been formed. Naruto and Kawaki are I was going to say together, but that sounds, yeah. I don't know what manga I'd be reading if they were together. No. Naruto and Kawaki, a bond has been formed, a father-son bond. This is kind of like his father figure right now. So it's going to be even stronger and an even bigger blow when Kawaki does whatever he does, because now you can see Naruto looked at him with love. That was love at the end. That was them looking back and forth. A bond has been formed. That was probably one of the most important things, again, cementing that the seeds have been planted for, sadly, betrayal later on by Kawaki. Kind of curious what you guys thought about all of this. For starters, the fight between Naruto and Delta. What did you guys think about it? Was it, I want to say that original fights that's not based on Kishimoto's work, this was one of the top ones. I loved it. I love the Dragon Ball Z inspiration for all of it. I'm not calling it out when I say that, but Vegeta was in it, or Vegeta. What am I saying? Shit. You see my mind? This is why it's great me giving you guys live. This is all the funny shit that happens that you guys never get to see. Only the people that be like around me when I'm recording is like, I lose a train of thought and I'd be like, holy shit. But I try to not go back and everything, because that's tip there. Don't stop your recording if you're like a few minutes in or whatever because you messed up. Just sit down, get your mind back on track, and then get back on it. For any content creators out there. But yeah, your thoughts on the fight? Was that the best fight we've had so far in the Boruto story? Where would you rank Naruto versus Delta manga wise in comparison to the fights we've had in Naruto? Again, I'm not saying this is the greatest fight in the world, but it was a pretty damn good fight and probably one of the best fights, if not the best original fight in Boruto so far. Since the end of the, what was it, Boruto versus the Momoshiki or whatever, this was a really awesome fight. I really want the anime to come and slam dunk it. Also, what do you think regarding this whole situation of now the seeds have been planted for betrayal? Do you think that Kawaki, like, because now with Kawaki, him doing that, it's going to take something dramatic. And again, I don't think it's going to be him being mind controlled, something there of a misunderstanding, because that's what most cases happen. That's what most problems, most enemies you create in this world is simply out of misunderstandings. You could do nothing to somebody, but because they misunderstand you or your intentions or you as a person, they'll look at you and say, I hate that person. So all around interesting stuff. Again, Boruto chapter 33, awesome. Please, Boruto, just keep including the old cast in there. That sounds like the secret recipe to making this shit a little bit more exciting, a lot more exciting, shall I say, because that's the Naruto that we all want to see, baby. Savage as hell. Let's jump to the chat. Trey Golds, thank you for the donation, and thank you. There was a couple other dollar ones that I had seen. Let me see if I can find them real quick. I'm still bad at a lot of this. Oh, thank you, N7 Engineer, for the $1, for the $2 donations. Thank you. So what did you guys think about the latest Boruto? What do you think about the fight? Is that the best fight we've had so far? It was heat. I felt as though, like, I ain't gonna lie, if that shot me that excited, then you know what I'm saying? Like, it was decent, because I don't really like Boruto is a hit and miss. 5.5 out of 10. Nah, I would say at the very least you got to give it a 7.5 or an 8, and that's at the very least. I'd say I give it 8.5, 8.5. So it was very good. It wasn't great. It was very good, because I go with 7 good, 8 very good, 9 great, and 10 10 out of 10. You know what a 10 out of 10 is. 6.5 out of 10, 7 out of 10. What's your opinion on the pacing for Boruto? The pacing for Boruto now is getting better, but leading up until the past, like maybe 8 or 9 chapters, the Boruto manga. So take away, if we're 33 chapters away, let's just say for all intents and purposes, take away 10 chapters, that we've had 10 months of really cool chapters. That's still terrible that it took 23 chapters to get good and to get exciting. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anyone is going to fight Jigen before he takes over Kawaki's body and destroys the world. Do you think that that will be that's actually Jigen and Kawaki's head fighting Boruto at the end? Shocking, crazy theory. Maybe it's Kawaki in there, and that's why Boruto is talking. But maybe what didn't happen with Orochimaru taking over Sasuke's body will happen with Jigen or Jigi, getting jiggy with it. No. With Jigen getting Kawaki's body. Maybe that's Jigen's goal in general, but Kawaki's still in there, and Boruto's like just trying to tell him, fight it. Naruto versus Boruto. And I guess I'll throw one last thing in, because I get to see it live. Y'all think that Kashin Koji is Jiraiya, or is it Ino's father, or is it somebody just that we've never? I think it has to have something to do very heavily with Jiraiya. Whether it's, I don't know, it's like the Rick and Morty episode, you know, when they went into that alien spa and they got rid of their toxins. Maybe Kashin Koji is Jiraiya's toxins. I don't know if there's any Rick and Morty fans, but I found that thought funny. No, the writer wants us to think it's Jiraiya, clone Jiraiya. Now more like Jigen planted some lies in Kawaki said that made him turn on Boruto. But what lies, though? If Jigen plants lies, what lies? You know what I'm saying? What would be enough of a word from a man that he doesn't trust to go against a man that he just sacrificed an arm for? Also, I will say, now that I think about it, the pacing is going pretty quick. The fact that I thought it was going to take a lot longer to get to this point. I thought it was going to take a couple of really big missions. And if you think about it, symbolically and regarding the narrative, this whole scene is similar to what happened where Naruto started trusting Sasuke when Sasuke jumped in front of Haku, When Sasuke jumped, that is literally mirroring. This whole thing was mirroring that. That's what that was. What's up, Floriano Gontijo? Jontijo? Maybe someone took G's body and made it. They made a clone of Jiraiya from the dried up puddles of Jiraiya. Okay, any last Boruto questions or anything regarding theories, anything like that? Boruto chapter 33, was it yay, nay, whatever, because we are about to move on to the Black Clover portion of this video, or the stream, shall I say. I got to get used to that. See, I'm not used to streaming. Give it another, because this is the second official Fornever Friday. Give it another few more weeks and we'll be there. When does the manga start getting good? A Boruto? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which chapter it was, but it's pretty much, it starts getting good, I want to say, once you get to this Hokara situation. It's been good for about a year, I want to say. It's been pretty good for probably even a little bit more than that. Because, wow, now that I think about it, we started the Kara arc, we just started getting into it at the end of 2017, like fall of 2017. So we're about a year and a half into it. So you figure, about 12 chapters. Give it about 10 to 12 chapters ago. So probably like chapter 20-ish around there. Are you caught up with 7 Deadly Sins? No, my friend, but that is another big one that I'm going to be doing. And I might be doing separate live streams for the 7 Deadly Sins and some other stuff. But that's just right now in the planning stages. Right now, we're still getting our feet wet week 2 with Fornever Friday. Any other thoughts, guys? Oh, I see a lot of Clovers in the comments. I know my Black Clover people. I know. I saved the best for last on purpose. I hope y'all noticed that. I saved the best for last on purpose. So, yeah, I guess let's jump into Black Clover. Sorry, I know that was annoying. Okay, Black Clover, baby. This chapter was all about Nozell's epicness with his Mercury, baby. This one was like, yo, if you're Bulbasaur, I'm Charmander, baby, because that's what I got out of it. That's what I felt, the explanation and everything, but it was just epic upon epic. Nozell showing his development as a character. How much has Nozell changed? There's just so much to talk about with Black Clover, baby. Like 199, we're one chapter away from the big 200. Notice that we didn't get much about the devil or the demon, whatever you want to call him. In this chapter, was he even in it? Was he mentioned? I don't remember. Because it was mainly Asta, Yuno, Patri, Nozell. I think that's it, right? We didn't even really get Yami in this chapter. So that's why 200 is going to be, I know, Tabata. Tabata is one of those guys, based on how I've analyzed his works in the past. 200 is probably next week. I'm going to sit here and this whole room is just going to be dripping with white. I'm going to be here like, oh, that was a good chapter, because I bet it. I bet it. 200 is going to be insane. I'm going to be screaming, Black Clover greatness. Yeah, I'm hyped for it. It's going to be hype. So I guess let's get started, people. Patri sends a blast towards Asta and Yuno. Now, it shows that their growth, but it also shows their weakness at the same time, because they, not necessarily weakness, because I don't want to say that it's a weakness, but it shows the difference between this evil hatred manifestation that they're facing Patri, the Black Elf at this point, and how strong he is in comparison to what they are, that they need to team up against him just to deflect one projectile. So just to deflect one projectile, they had to give it their all. And it, hold on one second. Let me just look at my notes. Again, something y'all don't really see. You know what I mean? So essentially, it was basically showing that the two of them are more so, they're strong, but they still got a ways to go. I think that this chapter, it had a lot of inspiration from a couple things as well. Just like I felt with, if you was, or see, I thought I was recording right now. That's crazy, bro. I love this. I love getting my feet wet with streaming. I was about to just do another take right there. Getting back to it though. Asking, sending the projectile. I keep going back to that or whatever. But essentially, in a nutshell, it shows that this motherfucker is really strong, Patri, right now. But I gotta say, the inspiration all around it. I saw the Magi inspiration 100%. Any Magi readers out there, any Magi fans out there did not see that was clear as day, as I've been saying, a fall into depravity. Like, that was clear as day to me. That was a fall into depravity type of situation where he just keeps on hatred and building up all that mana. And come on, bro. It's clear as day that that's the inspiration, which I'm not mad at it again, because it shows also other things of inspiration and then does its own thing regarding Nozell's techniques and what Nozell did at the end. But we'll get there. We'll get there because there's a lot to talk about. So Asta and Yuno sending the projectile. Asta ran out of it. Oh, it also shows, which I got to start saying Asta. I pronounce it wrong, I know, but I've been pronouncing it since before there was an anime and an English dub. Asta, yes. We'll go with Asta from now on. He ran out of his demonic power, or the black power as he calls it. He ran out of it, and he's down for the count now, which means that he's probably not going to be able to do too much or much more after this. I say 201, this whole ordeal, 201 or 202, this whole ordeal is probably going to disperse. I think it will be sick as hell if 200, he kind of pulls a Hiro Mashima. And what I mean by Hiro Mashima, any Fairy Tail fans know when he did that whole big 7-year time skip or whatever, maybe he's getting ready to do something like that. That would be sick. A lot of people, Black Clover fans are saying, yo, a time skip. Like Black Clover plays around with every trope. Why isn't it going to play around with a time skip? I think the creator said he's about getting close to halfway done, or he's still got, like, he's going to go as long as One Piece, some shit like that. I would love a time skip after this to show if that demon and Patri being a dark elf, and he's way stronger than us, because you got to think, if that demon, to them, they're all flies, Patri makes them have to team up, then they're a ways away from being the strongest. Because at the end of the day, let's be honest, at the end of Black Clover, Asta and Yuno are more than likely going to be the two strongest mages in the world, or close to it. So they still got a ways to go. I would love 200 to end on some sort of cliffhanger that, oh my gosh, the devil killed everyone, and we get like some big time skip, and like 202 or some shit, we finally see them, and like Yuno has long black hair looking cool. I want to see that so bad. Black Clover time skip, please. That would be sick as hell. It'd be like a fresh start too, but it'll get there when it gets there. I know Black Clover's gonna have a time skip. Not that I know though per se, but I have a very, very strong not hunch, because it's not like I got insider information. I just truly believe it's going to happen. So, again, that was another display of Asta ain't really up there yet. Asta's still got a long... Oh, God, it feels so weird. I'm going back to Asta. I'm sorry. I can't do this Asta stuff. I'll practice it on my own time. We're going back to Asta for the remainder of this one, okay? So, that's another thing, that a time skip will help him be able to stay in that mode, because it's been said time and time again, like I think it was the last chapter, the chapter before that, he could only go 2.5 times that demon form or use that demonic power. So he needs to go away and train or whatever. I would love to see it. I'm imagining maybe he'll go and train with Fuegoleon. That would be sick. Asta. Asta goes and trains with Fuegoleon, while Yuno go and train with Yami. That would be a nice one. That would be a nice one for a Black Clover time skip. But again, Patri losing it, filled with rage. The first blast gets deflected. He tries to shoot another one, and incoming the MVP of the chapter, baby, Nozell Silva. Yo, you don't know. I've been down with Nozell before Black Clover started, because that's the same character design as Haiji from Hungry Joker's older brother. So I've been down with Nozell before Black Clover came out, and I'm still down with him. The character development, this is quick. I mean, yeah, you probably say 199 chapters, that's quick, but this is quick. He's changed, bro. Let me ask you this big question. Would the old Nozell jump out and save Asta and Yuno? No. The old Nozell, nah, he wouldn't do it. The old Nozell wouldn't do it. So that's change right there. Immediately, we are seeing huge change on top of already what happened with him and his sister, him admitting that his sister's strong now. That's interesting, because it kind of shows that Yuki Tabata has used every... I hate this. I need room. No, but shit, my point. Live stream madness. But in essence, the House of Silva is looking good right now, because they ate a piece of humble pie. And they were shown that, like, yo, some people are strong too. Just because you were born in the dirt doesn't mean that you can't rise up from it and become great. And that's something that I love that Nozell learned, I want to say early on, because I see Black Clover going 500-600 chapters. So I want to say he learned early on, so we don't have to deal with all this. This was my original point. Yuki Tabata is getting rid of all of the shonen tropes now, so that he can do whatever he wants later. So that's why all of these things that we've seen kind of time and time again with characters growing and this and that, which that's story in general. That's not, shonen trope that the characters growing, whatever. But he's doing all that now so we can have something new and exciting, hopefully in the future. And he could do what he wants to do, which would be interesting. I would love to see what he does with it. But again, Nozell's character development, baby. Saving 2 low-level mages. Super Saiyan Eric, thanks again for the donation. Gotta head out, bro. Keep up the positivity. Have a blessed weekend and keep doing what you do, homie. Thank you, bro. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Thank you for the donation, and you have a blessed one and an awesome weekend, my friend. Okay, so let's get back to it. One of the things that stood out to me is the line, which I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was pretty much one of the first lines he said to Patri when he showed up and said, pretty much like, oh shit, I don't have, he says, okay, at last we meet and I'm not as forgiving as him. More or less, he said something like that. And he's talking about Julius, baby. So Julius's death is what changed him as well. I really hope that they don't bring Julius back. That is going to be terrible. I'm going to be really, really disappointed. I'm going to be really, really disappointed if they bring Julius back, unless there's an incredible reason and we lose someone else in the process. Somebody got to die. If I go, you got to go. Okay, stop it, Notorious. Fornever dumbass. No. Why send me a troll account come up? Notorious Fornever dumbass. Nah. So, okay. Nozell pissed off. He knows about Julius. It was clearly Patri that did it, pretending to be this and that. William Vengeance, lit. Like, honestly, Patri, like, on one hand, I just want to kind of just throw him away like Obito, but I feel as though I like him more than most people liked Obito back when he was revealed to be the masked man, which again, that's another shonen trope, the whole who's under the mask that Tabata used, and it was great, and here we are. So there's that regarding Patri and my lost thoughts. Silver breaks down, okay, yeah. This is where, when he broke down the whole thing of Mercury over light, that was in essence, like he made this whole explanation just to say that basically, I'm a better starter Pokemon than you. If I'm Charmander, you're Bulbasaur. If I'm Squirtle, you're Charmander, in essence. And on top of that, he's trained against people that he doesn't have that same advantage against. Like Fuegoleon is what made him, go through the roof, which I'm imagining he was talking about Julius to Patri. I don't think, or he might have been talking about now I think about it, maybe he's talking about Fuegoleon. Maybe he doesn't know about Julius yet, does he? I'm not quite sure if he knows about Julius yet, but maybe he was talking about Fuegoleon, and that kind of goes all into his character of why he's angry and everything, and that motivated him to go up against Fuegoleon. And then he uses something that anyone else feel as though, hey, it's Swords of Revealing Light. It kind of felt like he used Swords of Revealing Light, and then the Swords of Revealing Light turned into like a Spirit Bomb, spellbinding Yu-Gi-Oh circle. Like, Tabata been reading and watching a lot of shonen anime and manga for a long time, because these are all things that I recognize, but he turns it into his own. He turns it into this giant magic ball, spirit bomb of swords. Like, that is why Black Clover is succeeding now, because he did everything that everybody else did already. And now he's using all those tools that he invested in and turning it into his own creation. That is why Black Clover is lit right now, baby. That is why this manga is on fire. But let's get back to it. Asta, when he said, man, Nozell, pretty much, or the head captain of the Silver House, he's so cold, but man, he really cares. He grew. Asta doesn't realize, and this is, kids don't understand. When you're a kid, you don't get it when somebody's grown as a person. He doesn't get it that Nozell's grown up. He's probably still going to be an asshole from time to time, but now he'll save an Asta. He'll save a Noel. He'll save a Magna. He'll save anybody now that he feels needs to be saved because they're a part of under him. This is what makes him now be able to say that remark that he said at the end of the chapter, which changed a lot. Well, not changed a lot of things, but changes again, not even changes. It shows the change a Black Clover from the other series. Because when Silver said, nah, it's because I'm going to be the Magic Emperor, it's kind of taking a little piece of, remember at the end of the Fourth Great Shinobi War, when everybody was like, I'm going to be Hokage. Keep was like, I'm going to be Hokage. That was a small thing that was kind of dumb because it was like, that's Naruto's dream. Y'all need to stop. But all along, all these people have been saying this. And again, it reaffirms. And now it shows that Silva's a good person for running to become the next Magic Emperor. Like, I wouldn't be surprised now with this growth if instead of my original theory of Fuegoleon becoming the next Magic Emperor or his sister, I think it might be Silva. I think that's what's showing that he's grown and changed and he's willing to protect everybody that needs to be protected. So the kingdom being in the hands of Nozell right now might not be a bad thing anymore because he's grown and changed and he's going to help and actually truly care about people. So good on Nozell's character development yet again. Let's see what else takes Mercury from. Oh, I know that was pretty sick too. This is him using ideas that he had in his other manga, Black Clover, with taking the Mercury and all of the room and combining it again with all these swords and magic and everything. Like Black Clover, they better do this episode right in the anime. They better animate this shit really good because this is Nozell's triumphant moment of redemption to show that I'm not an asshole, guys, anymore. I swear. I can't wait to see this animated as well. I love seeing things in the manga and saying that needs to be animated. And he called it karma. Obviously, in general, is he going to really like Patri? Patri deceived everybody. Patri pretended to be this person and that person. William Menges is responsible for a lot of bad things behind this. So they ain't going to be. He just basically shitted on him and said, this is your karma now. But I will say this. Again, we had that line or whatever. I was just checking my last note. Hold on 1 second. I will say this. I don't think Patri's down for the count. I think something is going to happen. I don't think that he's completely done yet. I think next chapter is going to be, again, a big shocking revelation of what happens. Maybe Patri evolves into something else and leaves with the devil or something like that. That's what I could see happening. Maybe this whole thing is going to be resolved next chapter. I want a time skip, baby. I don't know if it's too early for that, but I would love a time skip. And that's where I'm going to start throwing off the question part. Do you guys think that 200 or 201 is going to be a Black Clover time skip? I think that that's all what's been on my mind this chapter is a time skip. And maybe, again, it's too early, but I would love a Black Clover time skip. Y'all think that it's time? Y'all think this whole chapter and everything that's been leading up to show how weak we are compared to some of these demons and these demonic creatures that we need a time skip? Or your thoughts on that? What do you think about Nozell's redemption? Do you think that this makes it so that now Nozell is a great candidate to be the next Magic Emperor? Personally, I think so. I think that this changes the narrative from making it that if it's Fuegoleon, then it's kind of like, whatever. That was basically like the third Hokage taking over. If it's Fuegoleon's sister, then it's, that's a clear ripoff of Tsunade. That's, whatever. If it's Silva, this is the redemption, the guy and that's not going to change the House of Silva completely. Some of them have changed, but they're still going to be assholes. So it's still going to be kind of like a iffy situation. It's not like Aston, you don't have the keys to the kingdom now. If anything, they got to strive harder. I think that this makes a great segue so one of the captains can become the Wizard King or the Magic Emperor. Yeah, I still say different translations. Be the Magic Emperor, and then now they got to try and grow and change and take them out, or not take them out, but surpass them. So what do you guys think about that? And your overall thoughts of Black Clover chapter 198, 200, baby. Theories for 200. I can't freaking wait. Black Clover greatness, baby. Now to the chat. Let me see what's been up. What do you guys think about Black Clover 199? Let's see. Julius said he saw future. You lost Pachi, so that means he'll come back. So you think Julius is going to come back? Kenny. William Vengeance to Wizard King. No, William Vengeance becoming the Wizard King is like Obito becoming Hokage. Nah, can't happen. It sucks. I got to double your infection. I can barely hear Fornever speak greatness. Sorry. I hope you feel better, man. The video on demand, all of this will be broken up into separate videos for you guys' viewing pleasure. So do not worry if you missed out or there's something wrong. You'll be able to watch after, assuming YouTube doesn't mess up or anything like that. Because I'll probably render it down, download the video, because I don't think I'm going to keep the streams per se, because I rather you guys have the experience that way. But the individual videos of the topics we talk about will be released, so you guys will get that content. Julius can't come back. Please don't have Julius come back like on some 200 and he bled. No! And if Julius comes back, I want a consolation. If Julius comes back, give me a consolation prize and make there be a time skip. Okay, I'm just saying. They have to know Julius. That's true. What's your theory on what's coming next? A time skip. And a whole change of like making the situation more dire, where maybe the anime can have a time skip as well. Maybe that's what Black Clover needs. Now that I think about it, here's another one. Hold up. Here's another one. Black Clover getting this time skip means that it can have a Black Clover Shippuden-esque type of deal. Rebrand it so that the people that they didn't like the beginning of Black Clover, they were sour to it, but now Black Clover has a fan base. They can feel like, well, I could check out the sequel thing and see what's up, and they'll fall in love with it. I think Black Clover Shippuden, that's what we need right now. Shippuden is, Black Clover Z Shippuden, a continuation. Fornever, what anime do you think is the next big thing? I've been trying to figure that out for about 10 years now. I figured it out here and there. I called Seven Deadly Sins. I did say Fairy Tail was going to be big in terms of popularity. Quality-wise, we know what happened there. His grimoire disappeared, so he must be dead. But yeah, Byakuya Kuchki's Bankai broke. He was supposed to be dead, and look what happened. Black Clover X Fairy Tail crossover. Fire Force is going to be a big deal. But let me know, guys, because I'm going to be wrapping up Fornever Fridays. I got a lot of stuff to do as well, and I got to stream at 10 o'clock, so I need a little bit of time to breathe. Thank you to each and every person that joined. Let me check one thing real quick. Let me see something. Okay, I'm not sure what I did there, but yeah, that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit the bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my social media, links in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld. And as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day. Can't forget the music, boy.